So far, we discussed about food adulteration, and I think you all might have watched that in the video. Now, I'm going to explain with your textbook. So, food adulteration. So, adulteration is defined as the addition or subtraction of any substance to or from food so that the natural composition and the quality of food substance is affected. For example, if we are looking for a chocolate, medicinal chocolate like a Tulsi chocolate or neem chocolate, the vital component of that helps will be a quite bitter taste. To remove that bitter, they are adding the artificial sweetener and artificial colorant. And that artificial sweetener and colorant is called as adulteration. So, adulterant is any material which is used for the purpose of adulteration. So, that artificial colorant or artificial sweetener, the material which is adding to give a high impact on that particular food item is called as adulterant. So, some of the common adulterated foods, milk and milk products. Probably we know water is the main adulterant in milk. Then cereals and pulses, maybe the sand or pebbles. Coffee powder. The chicory is the main adulterant in coffee powder. Tea powder. Some of the other leaves may combine with the tea leaves. Turmeric powder, the artificial color, and that is called mantle yellow to bring a more color of turmeric powder. Saffron. Then edible oils. Oil is the adulterant of another oil. They can mix two oils together. Then confectionaries. So as I said, the sauces, jams, jellies are mainly highly adulterated with the artificial sweeteners. And non-alcoholic beverages, that is soda, Coke, Pepsi and all. Then the adulterant in food can be classified into three categories. That is the natural adulterant, incident or unintentionally added adulterant, and the intentionally added adulterant. We'll look each of them separately, okay? So in meat, poultry products, they can mix with other meats. Instead of goat, they could mix beef with that, and the poultry products, instead of that turkey, chickens, they may include the broilers, also the ducks. Okay, so the first one is natural adulterant. Natural adulterant are those chemicals or organic compounds that are naturally present in food. So, for example, if you take a fruit or a vegetable, they could ripe themselves because of the chemical metabolism is undergoing on them. Due to the metabolic changes, the apples or of any vegetables may ripe faster. Okay, so for example, the toxic substances in certain poisonous mushrooms. We use mushrooms for consumptions. So apart from the consumption mushrooms, there are also the poisonous mushrooms which is very harmful to human beings. Also prussic acid in the seeds of apple and cherry. We could see a seed inside an apple or a cherry. So the acid which is present in which is extracted from the seeds of apples and cherries is very poisonous and very dangerous to humans. Then marine toxins. So some of the toxic substances, some of the toxic fishes are living in the marine world. Okay, so they could release some toxic chemicals or toxic materials to affect other fishes. Fish oil poisoning. So some of the fishes can release an oil-like substance. We, the human, will take it for consumption. When we consume it more dose, it is very harmful to human also. Then environmental contaminants. The area which we live, we should be very clean about the area which we live because the microorganism is living everywhere. We could aware of that. Okay, that is the environmental conditions and the environmental contaminants. The food may get contaminated due to the environmental air or environmental waters. Then the second one is incidental or unintentionally added adulterants. So, as I said, the type includes incidental or unintentionally added adulterants. While cooking, if an insect falls into the food, that is the carelessness of the cook. That is called incidental or unintentionally added adulterants. So these type of adulterants are added unknowingly due to ignorance or carelessness during food handling and packaging. Okay, so that we have to very careful while handling and packaging the foods. So the first one is pesticide residues. While cooking in a high density, the pesticides may fly in the air so that it may fall on the foods. And dropping of rodents, rats, insects, rodent bites. If you are not closing the food properly, the rodents may bite the foods. And larvas in foods. For example, if we are storing a water without closing it, we could see in a 3 or 4 days, in a mosquito larvas are started living in the water. So that we have to store it properly. Then microbial contamination due to the presence of pathogens like E. coli, salmonella in fruits, vegetables, ready to eat meat and poultry products. So if we are not using it properly, the microbial contaminations will occur because microorganisms can grow anywhere easily. So that we have to handle it and we have to pack the foods properly. Then intentionally added adulterants. These adulterants are added without the knowledge of the people. These adulterants are added intentionally for financial gain and which have serious impact on health of the consumers. So these types of adulterants are included. So these type of adulterants includes additives and preservatives like vinegar, citric acid, sodium bicarbonate, that is baking soda. So vinegar and citric acid is an acid, but if you are consuming it in a high level, it will be very harmful to the humans. Then hydrogen peroxide in milk, modified food starch, then food flavors, then chemical preservatives and the artificial sweeteners. Then chemicals like calcium carbide to ripen bananas and mangoes. So bananas and mangoes are the regular consumers, intaking fruit, consuming fruits of a human. So to get ripen it faster, they use the chemical called calcium carbide to make ripen it even more faster for their better sale. So if you are consuming it without washing, it will be very harmful to the humans. Then non-certified food colors containing chemicals like metallic lead are used to give colors to vegetables like green leafy vegetables, bitter gourd. So they are adding the natural artificial colorant to give a fresh look of a vegetable so that people will started buying it in a higher level. Then edible synthetic wax like shellac or carnauba wax is coated on fruits like apple, pear to give a shining appearance. So when we buy an apple or a pear, when we wash it, the water will not attached with that apple or pear. So that the wax is coated on that apple. To remove that wax, we have to wash it with the hot water. Then health effects of adulterated foods. The consumption of the adulterated foods may lead to serious health effects like fever, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, gastrointestinal disorders, asthma, allergy, neurological disorders, skin allergies, immune suppressions, kidney and liver failure. colon cancer, and even it may cause the birth defects.